Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I am Sanjay Mattu with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reiterates India's commitment to world peace, pledges to work for furthering an atmosphere of harmony and brotherhood. In Chhattisgarh, stage set for first phase of assembly elections tomorrow. One Maoist killed and another nabbed in an encounter with Special Task Force. 33rd ASEAN Summit to open in Singapore this evening. 4-day Chhath Puja begins today with traditional fervour in several parts of the country. And in cricket, India to take on Pakistan in the ICC Women's World 2020 in Guyana tonight, and final T20 match between India and the West Indies to be played in Chennai this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reiterated India's commitment towards world peace and pledged to work to further an atmosphere of harmony and brotherhood so that the trail of death and destruction caused by wars does not occur. In a message on the completion of 100 years of the end of World War I, Mr. Modi remembered the brave soldiers who fought in the First World War. He said it was a war in which India was not directly involved, yet its soldiers fought the world over just for the cause of peace. The Prime Minister said he has had the honour of paying tributes at the Neuve-Chapelle Memorial in France and at the memorial in Israel's Haifa, places associated with India's role in the First World War. He recalled paying tributes at the Teen Murti Haifa Chowk in Delhi with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu during Mr. Netanyahu's visit to India. World leaders have gathered in Paris to mark the occasion. Around 70 leaders, including the US and Russian presidents Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, will mark the centenary of the 1918 armistice in the French capital. British Prime Minister Theresa May and Queen Elizabeth will attend a separate event in London. The city-state of Singapore is all set to host the 33rd ASEAN Summit from this afternoon. The main event is being held at Suntec Singapore Convention Centre, wherein the 10 ASEAN members will be discussing key issues on economic, security and cultural cooperation. Besides the main event, several related meetings like Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership or RCEP, East Asia Summit and FinTech Festival are also taking place during the 5-day event. ASEAN leaders are expected to adopt the ASEAN Smart Cities framework, and a broad agreement is likely to be reached on RCEP during the summit. More from our correspondent.
The city-state of Singapore will be in the spotlight the whole week as leaders of all 10 ASEAN countries will be in the island nation for its 33rd summit. The summit is chaired by Singapore's Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong. Leaders of ASEAN's 8 key partners like Australia, Japan, India, China, US and South Korea will also be in town for related summits like East Asia Summit and Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership or RCEP. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is scheduled to attend EAS and RCEP and is likely to deliver keynote address at the FinTech Festival. Commerce and Industry Minister Suresh Prabhu is also in Singapore to hold discussions regarding RCEP. It is hoped that broad agreement could be reached on RCEP trade deal involving ASEAN and its key partners. Tripti Srivastava from Singapore for AIR News.
In Sri Lanka, a political realignment has started taking place among political parties to face the elections. This is despite the background that several groups are scheduled to approach the Supreme Court tomorrow against the dissolution of Parliament. Several MPs led by new Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa today formally joined the Sri Lanka Podujana Party or SLPP. More from our correspondent.
Nominations for parliamentary elections will begin on 19th unless court proceedings put a stay, and both camps are gearing to face the elections. Mahinda Rajapaksa along with several SLFP MPs joined the SLPP, which was formed in 2016. Sri Lanka had two main parties in form of Sri Lanka Freedom Party and United National Party, but SLPP was formed by breakaway SLFP group of Mr. Rajapaksa. With new equations emerging, SLFP and SLPP will form a broad coalition to contest the elections. Meanwhile, there are discussions within UNP over leadership change, and the party may face the polls under Deputy Leader Sajith Premadasa. There are other parties like Tamil National Alliance and People's Party who are also deliberating on their strategy. Santosh Kumar for AIR News from Colombo.
The Central Crime Branch of Karnataka has arrested former State Minister Gali Janardhana Reddy for his suspected role in money laundering and helping the prime accused in making illegal cash transactions. The CCB is probing allegations that Reddy and his aide Mehfooz Ali Khan received 57 kilograms of gold from Ambident Marketing to negotiate with ED officials to go easy against its promoter Syed Ahmed Fareed. The CCB cops grilled Reddy till late in the night yesterday and today to ascertain his involvement in the money trail. Reddy will undergo a medical test and will be produced before a magistrate for seeking his custody. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. You can also log on to our website newsonair.nic.in. In Chhattisgarh, the Election Commission has completed preparations for the smooth conduct of polling for the first phase of assembly elections to be held tomorrow. The Commission has made multidimensional efforts to increase the polling percentage in the Maoist-affected tribal areas of the state. A report from our correspondent.
In the 18 constituencies which are going for poll tomorrow in Chhattisgarh, more than 31,80,000 voters, including about 16 lakh females, are eligible to exercise their franchise. To provide facilities for smooth polling to women, Election Commission has set up Sangwari polling booths in various constituencies. About 60% of the voters of the state are between the age group of 18 to 39 years. Chief Electoral Officer Subrat Sahu said that to encourage these young voters to exercise their franchise, each polling center of the state will have voter selfie zone.
नौजवान कैटेगरी में जो लोग हैं आज सेल्फी की तरफ काफी आकर्षित रहते हैं, तो इसके लिए हर मतदान बूथ के बाहर एक सेल्फी कॉर्नर होगा जिसके सामने मतदान करने के पश्चात मतदाता अपना फोटो सेल्फी के रूप में खींचकर पोस्ट कर सकते हैं.
5 best selfie will be selected from each assembly constituency and would be given awards. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
Meanwhile, one Maoist was killed in an encounter with the Special Task Force in Bedre area of Bijapur district this morning. Police said another Maoist was apprehended following the gun battle. Police also recovered 2 rifles from the spot. Search operations have been intensified in the area. Talking to AIR, Bastar DIG Ratanlal Dangi said,
12 तारीख को जो मतदान होना है उसको सुरक्षित और शांति रूप से संपन्न कराने के लिए हमारी पुलिस पार्टी थाना बेदरे से कल रात में ही निकली थी और आज सुबह 9 बजे के आसपास जो हमारी एसटीएफ और थाने का बल था उसका जो माओवादियों के साथ में मुठभेड़ हुआ, आधा घंटे तक चला. उसके बाद जो एरिया का सर्चिंग किया गया तो वहाँ पर एक वर्दीधारी माओवादी और साथ में उनका एक हथियार पुलिस ने बरामद किया और आसपास के एरिया में सर्च करने के बाद में काफी मात्रा में एक्सप्लोजिव बरामद किया.
The 4-day Chhath Puja begins today with traditional fervour in several parts of the country, including Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh and Delhi. The 4-day festivities, which began with Nahai Khai today, will culminate on Wednesday morning with oblations to the rising sun. Our Patna correspondent has filed this report on the Chhath Puja in Bihar.
Devotees started their day with holy baths early in the morning in River Ganga and bring some water to their home to prepare the offerings. They take only one meal a day, known as kaddu bhat, cooked only by using the bronze or soil utensils and mango woods over the soil stove. Kharna is tomorrow. On this day, devotees keep fast for whole day and break their fast in the evening after sunset on worshipping sun. They offer kheer, puris, fruits in the puja. After taking prasad in the evening, they go on fast without water for the next 36 hours. Standing in knee-deep water, devotees will pay oblation to the setting sun on Tuesday. With report of KK Lal from Patna, this is Abhishek Kumar, AIR News.
In Bihar, the Muzaffarpur Municipal Corporation has ordered the demolition of the child shelter home building of Brajesh Thakur, who is the main accused in the Muzaffarpur shelter home rape case. The Municipal Commissioner Sanjay Dubey told AIR that building bylaws had been flouted by Thakur to construct the shelter home. He said permission was taken to construct a 1-story building, but a 3-story building had been constructed. The centre has invested 60 to 65,000 crores to improve the suburban services of the railways. This was said by Union Minister for Railways, Piyush Goyal, after inaugurating the first phase of the Nerul Seawoods and Belapur Uran corridor at Kharkopar railway station in Navi Mumbai. The inauguration was done in the presence of Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis and Union Ministers Anand Gite and Ramdas Athavale. Stating that the central government is committed to giving a convenient environment in suburban railways in Mumbai, Piyush Goyal said the railways have finished the project before the deadline. On Maharashtra Chief Minister's aim to make the state a $1 trillion economy, Mr. Goyal said he is convinced with the work of the former and hoped that the state government will fulfill this target. The Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana has been successful in bringing crores of people into the banking system since the launch of the scheme in 2014. In Uttarakhand, there's a constant increase in the number of rural men and women opening bank accounts under this scheme. Here's a ground report from our Dehradun correspondent.
The scheme evoked good response from people of Suyalwadi in Nainital district of Kumaon region. Geeta Devi says that process of opening Jan Dhan bank account was simple and money transaction has become easier.
इसमें आसानी में मेरा पैसे आ रहे हैं यहाँ से मुझे कोई परेशानी नहीं खाता खोलने में भी कोई परेशानी नहीं आसानी से खुल गया.
According to Gram Pradhan Rajendra Singh, many people in his village have Jan Dhan accounts and they are happy about it.
मैंने अपने यहाँ जनधन के कई खाते लोगों के खुलवाए हैं को अच्छी सुविधा मिल रही है पहले उनके खाते नहीं थे खाता होने से उनको बहुत फायदा हो रहा है.
Under Jan Dhan Yojana, opening a bank account does not require much money as these are zero balance accounts. Ragvesh Pandey, AIR News, Dehradun.
The deep depression over southeast and adjoining central Bay of Bengal has intensified into a cyclonic storm, Gaja. The Met Department forecasts that it's very likely to intensify further into a severe cyclonic storm during the next 24 hours. The Met Department has advised fishermen not to venture into the Andaman Sea during the next 12 hours. In Himachal Pradesh, the sky remained overcast in most parts of the state, including state capital Shimla and tribal districts Lahaul-Spiti and Kinnaur. As the temperature is continuing to decline in the mornings and evenings, severe cold is being experienced in the state. In remote and far-flung hilly areas of the state, the minimum temperature is below the freezing point. According to the Weather Department, light to moderate rainfall and snowfall is very likely to occur over isolated places of the state during the next 4 days, starting from today. On to sports now. In women's cricket, India will take on Pakistan in their second group match of the ICC World 2020 at the Providence Stadium in Guyana today. The match will begin at 8:30 p.m. Indian time. The Indian Eves had won their opening game by 34 runs against New Zealand on Friday, riding on skipper Harmanpreet Kaur's 51-ball 103, which was a maiden T20 ton. Pakistan had lost their opener against Australia by 52 runs. India and Australia both have 2 points each, but the Aussies are at the top in the group due to a better net run rate. The West Indies and England are the top two teams in Group A. The semi-finals will be played on the 23rd of this month, with the final slated for the 25th. The final T20 of the three-match series between India and the West Indies will be played at the M.A. Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai this evening. The game will kick off at 7 p.m. The men in blue will be aiming to complete a clean sweep today, as they had won the first T20 by 5 wickets and the second by 71 runs. They look to give their bench strength an opportunity before the tour of Australia. The selectors have rested Jasprit Bumrah, Umesh Yadav and wrist spinner Kuldeep Yadav for today's game. Siddharth Kaul has been added to the squad. In the current tour, the Windies have already lost the Test Series 0-2 and the ODI Series 1-3. In Yemen, at least 61 combatants have been killed in clashes in Hodeidah. Medical sources reported that 43 Houthi rebels and 9 loyalists were killed in clashes over the past 24 hours. Dozens of wounded rebels were transferred to hospitals in the provinces of Sana'a and Ib. And now, before we close, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reiterates India's commitment to world peace, pledges to work for furthering an atmosphere of harmony and brotherhood. In Chhattisgarh, stage set for first phase of assembly elections tomorrow, 1 Maoist killed and another nabbed in an encounter with Special Task Force. 33rd ASEAN Summit to open in Singapore this evening. 4-day Chhath Puja begins today with traditional fervour in several parts of the country. And in cricket, India to take on Pakistan in the ICC Women's World 2020 in Guyana tonight, and final T20 match between India and the West Indies to be played in Chennai this evening. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website newsonair.nic.in. With that, we end the Midday News.